All right, welcome back to the new SEC podcast. We are talking Central Arkansas at Missouri, the first SEC football game of the season, Thursday, 7:30 p.m. on SEC Network. A game that, unless you're a Missouri fan, even some Missouri fans wouldn't really talking too much about. But we have a special, asterisk beside this game because there is going to be a quarterback battle taking place in this game. Drink couldn't pick his quarterback yet, but whether it's going to be Sam Horn or Bo Pribula, the Penn State transfer. So this game is going to have a little bit of a nuance to it. So, Rand, quarterback competition, what do you think?
I mean, I'm going to say I like Drink's approach here. I was doing some research before this game and before we recorded here. And, he came out and named 9 captains this season. And he made both quarterbacks captains among the 9 captains. And so he must feel pretty confident that both these guys are kind of manning the locker room, leading the way. And, I think this is a good way to showcase who deserves to start in that Kansas game the following week.
Yeah, and that's a game where you don't want to be doing a quarterback battle in. Kansas isn't going to be your hardest game of the season by any means, but it's one where you don't want to be playing around into the third quarter, late in the first half. Yeah. So you want to try to find your guy in this game. Is Central Arkansas the best opponent for that to get the right read? Probably not. They weren't too solid last season. They're replacing a lot of pieces on both offense and defense. So Central Arkansas isn't going to be coming into this as like number 1 ranked, FCS team or anything like that. Now, we got a lot of comments on our last video, and I was looking around at other, Missouri fans and what they want to see in a game like this. I'm seeing a bit of mixed result from Missouri fans on who they want for a couple of different reasons. Sam Horn, you get a guy who has been in the program for a while, speaks to, hey, stay with us, you get your shot. Or, hey, we paid Bo Pribula to come here, sunken cost, don't pay the guy for nothing, let's play him.
Right. Yeah, and Sam Horn's been there for 4 years, right? The guy got drafted by the Dodgers, 17th round. He got like a $500,000 contract. But in an era where players are in and out of the portal, Sam decided to stay when Bo Pribula entered the portal in the playoff era, right? So I definitely understand why fans kind of feel that way and would want to see him potentially play in this game, play for the season.
Do you feel? I mean, I guess personal take, like if you were a Missouri staffer or a Missouri hardcore fan, like him not being able to commit to football, do you think that plays a factor into the fact that he's not getting named guy, or the fact that he wouldn't get named the guy? I mean, he's still out here pitching and be a baseball player too.
I don't think so, because I think he only has 1 year left of eligibility. I'm sure I'm wrong. The people in the comments will correct me. Bo Pribula has 2 years left of eligibility, despite being a grad transfer. So on one hand, I guess if you're a Missouri fan, you're thinking, okay, if Bo's our guy, we can get him for another year or two. If Sam's our guy, it's really just a 1 year stint. And, obviously Sam wasn't going to outcompete Brady for the position. So the fact that he still was committed to playing football and playing baseball, to me, matters more than him not locking in just one sport.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he did a quarterback battle, Brady Cook, 2 years ago and since waited his turn. I think, the way I feel about college football in the transfer portal era, not to get on my soapbox, but I think that there's something to that, to build a program around a guy who's been there for a while. So, I'm a proponent of that. Now, in this game, is there, looking at it, is there anything that you want to see from one of these guys to pull ahead? Especially in a game where you're playing against an inferior opponent, is there anything that maybe would stand out? How do you get a read in a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I'm thinking about getting a read in this game, I feel like I have to go back to Drinkowitz's quote that he mentioned in talking to the media, and I'll just quote it here. He said, my challenge for them, both quarterbacks, to lead when you're not the quarterback. When you're not in the game, you don't be in the back just watching the plays. Like, go lead, go be on the sidelines, go provide energy, because that's really the next step. It's who really rallies this team, and it was awesome to see both those guys get votes when he was talking about who got the captain votes. I think that's what I would be looking for if I'm in this game, is who ultimately can command the huddle, who is providing energy on the sidelines, because that's what they're going to be missing from last year with Luther Burden and Brady Cook, is someone who charges up this fan base and can really show the team they can lead. Obviously, them both being voted captains shows that, but in this game, intangibly on the sidelines and on field, I don't want to see who's providing the most energy, who's feeding Kevin Coleman? Who's feeding Marquise Johnson? Who's feeding Joshua Maine? Like that's the guy that I would want to see ultimately win this spot.
Yeah, it's the meshing with weapons, because I felt like at times last season there was a bit of disconnect from the quarterback to the receivers, especially being the star receivers, that there were some frustrations happening. So I think that's a huge piece of it. Now, I would be surprised if they weren't already leaning one way or another, and at least having one guy being the more favored, probably the guy who's going to walk out first. You know, you can say it's a quarterback battle, even. Someone's going to walk out first. I remember different team, but I remember being when it was Tua versus Jalen, and you didn't know who was going to start that first game at Orlando. It's Louisville. When Tua walked out, you're like, oh, that's it. It's his team, and the energy's there around one guy. I think you see the same thing in this game, where whoever walks out first at Missouri, night game, the energy is going to be high. That guy walks out, the team's going to rally around the moment. So I imagine who they bring out is the guy. I have a hard time believing right now that it's not Pribula. If I had to make a call, if I had to put money on it.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at, if it's all things even, Beau Pribula has playing experience, right? 10 rushing touchdowns, 9 passing touchdowns. I'm in the same boat where I believe it's going to be Beau Pribula. And in this game, it'll be a good test to kind of see, what Ahmad Hardy can do rushing the football against Central Arkansas, how this defense is coming back. They obviously return a lot of great production, but the story of the game is going to be who's going to be the starting quarterback. And I think there'll be more eyeballs than normal on the SEC network because of this quarterback competition.
Absolutely. When it comes to a game, I think Missouri's going to dog them, so no worries there. Down to the quarterback position. Missouri fans, let us know who you think is going to be the quarterback. If you think one guy is better than the other, or if you think they're going to start a guy that maybe shouldn't be starting, let us know what you think. And, we'll recap this and let us know we'll let you know our thoughts once we find out who that quarterback would be. As always, like, subscribe. I'm Hunter Ziesman here with Randall Dett Jr. with the new SEC podcast, and we'll catch you in the next one.